10. But 6, 7. Number 4. There is something supernatural happening with Shaiko and Team Falcon. What a year 2025 has been. It's our last lock-in episode of the year, our 10th one so far. And with the year winding down, everybody's kind of going around, last bits of travel, either to go see family or friends, or really to finish off some last work bits and preparations before the end of the year. And I thought, why not take you with me on my own little trip, and let's talk about everything that's happened so far in 2025. Of course, regional finals just finished, and the Invitational, the 10th anniversary, is on the horizon looking at us in February. So how about we play a little game, a little numbers game. Hell, it is called Rainbow Six Siege, so it's right there in the name. So let's throw down some numbers and see what sort of trivia we end up with. Our first number, 10. Well, 10 just so happens to be the amount of times that FaZe and Furia faced off against one another just this year. Two massive CHX powerhouses, be it internationally or, of course, in the Brazil region. Speaking of which, this is where their last bout took place. Sao Paulo regional finals for the Blaster 6 region in South American SAL, and this time it was FaZe that won the bout. You might be guessing, what is the score between them? Well, the tally is 5-5, and I have a little bit of a hunch that SI might be a big tiebreak between the two. 10 is also the birthday of Siege. Man, it's crazy. I love this game. I love its esport. I love how much this game specifically has changed my life and many lives that I know around me. Without Siege, I wouldn't have even found the love of my life and gotten married to her. So yeah, Siege really can change your life. There's a lot of things that are associated with the number 10 in Siege X. And of course, the 10th being the 10th Invitational. And you might be wondering, who is, if anybody, the person who has been to every single Invitational since the very beginning? Well, of course, you are right. It is none other than the man himself, Canadian, a true legend in Siege Esports. And having qualified to the Invitational now in Paris, will be making his 10th appearance at the event. And not only has he done that, but he's also lifted our hammer twice in the history of Siege Esports. Now Canadian on the Shopify Rebellion roster as of 2025 was at the regional finals of North America League. Shopify Rebellion bowed out to Space Station Gaming in the grand final of the entire event. The culmination of all of 2025 Stage 1 and Stage 2 came to a head. Commiserations to Canadian, but at the end of the day, SSG proved to be the true winner of North America League in 2025. But, well, our next number is not one I think I can count to, not at least with my brain. It's 2026. Aside from the grandeur of the Invitational in Paris, here's what to look forward to in the CGX esports calendar for next year. Tier 1 competition will kick back off in April, having a month or so of rest time for all of our players, having that open window of transfers, and there's some spicy stuff that always happens after the Invitational in preparation for their next move. But no stage can end without culminating in a major. Yes, you heard it right. They are back. 2 majors per year, one in May and one in November, each one happening after a series of qualifications in every single region. But look, we have our Invitational, our granddaddy of them all, our own WrestleMania in February, that's SI, but we don't have a little SummerSlam that's happening. Well, that is officially changing as the Esports World Cup EWC happening in 2026's summertime is filling that specific gap. The winner of the event will have a direct invitation to, well, the Invitational in 2027. Next up is the number 4. Well, 4. Unfortunately for EML fans, that is the number of times that Shaiko has been in a grand final and finished second place ever since May 2024. Do you remember where those majors were? It all started in Manchester, to Montreal, to Boston, and of course to Munich. And actually, now that I think about it, Manchester with an M, Montreal with an M, Boston is in Massachusetts with an M, and Munich is with an M as well. there is something supernatural happening with Schalke and Team Falcons. Although Team Falcons won the regionals that happened in Malta, they're breaking the cycle, it still is not enough for them. There is one trophy that has eluded this Falcons squad, but that doesn't mean that Schalke and Team Falcons are not excited for the next step in their career. They're playing on home turf in Paris for the Invitational 2026, and Schalke has locked the hell in. He's been talking about it on social media and interviews. No matter where, this man wants it to happen on home turf, and it might be their best opportunity to lift the hammer yet. My next one is a bit of a technical one, 0.03. And look, I have to get up close and personal for this one because this clutch from Ride was incredible. Now let's look at this clearly. Doki was already down by Ride, but he's back and only on his pistol. He gets one kill on Alamo. It's very difficult to take the top-down fight. Solus is upstairs. Look at that timer though. Well, all the way down to 0.03 for Bride to hit the shot, get the 1v3 win, and clutch things out for Team Falcons in the Malta finals. Incredible, incredible play from Bride. The clutch master, baby, is back. Number 3. 3 teams that I predict to do something at SI in Paris. My top has to be M80 because watching them throughout Munich, their evolution really in 2025 with the squad and Fabian just behind them leading the way, I feel like we've hit this stride where NA in this squad has a team that can do a lot. Yes, there's a lot of other competitors, but they haven't really shown me that flair. My flop though, speaking of regionals, has to be FaZe. And yes, look, FaZe started 2025 with a bang. Of course, they won the Invitational in Boston. They closed the year out with a regionals win, but compared to those two highs, there's been a lot of lows and lulls in between in 2025. And while I would expect more of them going into Paris, I just don't know if they have what it takes, given the competition, to take it all. And for the 3rd year in a row, really, my outsider, my dark horse, has to be Team Secret. Now, a lot has happened to Team Secret, from changes, the drama that went down through and right after Boston, the roster swaps, the win at EWC, the great performance in stages 1 and 2, and an okay one, I would say, also at the Munich Major. I feel like this team has still a lot to show, and if anything, they can play gatekeepers. They can really mess things around in group stage at the Invitational, or really no matter what group you're going to look at in the future or however things end up working out, you're going to have Team Secret that can just play spoiler for everybody else and put themselves higher up in those standings. But those are my 3, the top, the flop, and the dark horse outsiders. What are yours going into the Invitational? Between you and me, maybe we'll revisit that closer to SI. On to our last bit, our quick fire round. Let's throw some numbers all over the place. 14 of February, of course, it's Valentine's Day, but it also happens to be the semi-finals of the Invitational in Paris, happening from the 13th to the 15th, the main event in the Adidas Arena. You have to see it for yourself in person or still at home. 20, that is the amount of teams that are participating at the Invitational, 16 qualified and 4 from the LCQs. And from those 20 teams, there is only one winner, the one to lift it all for the 10th anniversary of the Invitational. 12 is the metro line you'll be taking to make it to the Adidas Arena in Paris. Make sure you have your Navigo card charged up properly, please. 6, 7, don't want to see those numbers at the Invitational. Please, for the love of God, we are all old at this point, players and all. So with 2025 coming to an end, I want to thank you all for joining us on this wonderful, unique journey here in Lock-In. Rainbow Six in general has grown so much. We've got Siege X in 2025. We have some of the biggest events that are coming up in 2026. And there's a lot of history that is waiting to be made. 10 episodes that we've had here so far. And I hope that we'll see one another even more in the future. I want to wish you all a happy set of holidays, no matter what you celebrate, and I close this out with one last number, 10 out of 10, because that is how cute you are. Thank you so much. Happy holidays. We'll see you next year.